So the first thing you do, you'd come, you'd check the legs. So you clear the system, check their legs. So he has a short left leg. So I'm going to have you turn your head to the right. If this balances the legs, it would be a positive cervical syndrome. You could turn back to the center. And positive cervical syndrome indicates a posterior rotated C1 or C5. So I would pressure test, posterior rotated C1, recheck the legs, and then add positive or negative torque and adjust like so at C1 or at C5. If he turned his head to the short leg side and that balances the legs, that's a positive wrongin. And so that indicates a lateral C1. So I would come up, you could turn to the center, and I would adjust like this and add motion into his head and then adjust. If upon head rotation his short leg changes sides, that's bilateral cervical syndrome. And first thing we would check is a PI occiput. So I'd pressure test PI occiput with positive and negative torque. Check the legs. Then I would move down to the coccyx. So I would swipe the coccyx, check the legs. If that balances the legs, I would adjust coccyx like this. And then with coccyx, you have to always also adjust the sphenoid. So I'm going to have you turn your head to the right. You would pressure test the sphenoid in all four directions. So you go S to I to S, P to A, and A to P. And you would come and you would adjust in that direction that balance the legs. You don't want to go directly lateral to medial into the temple. After adjusting a priority 2, I would move on. I would clear the system again, check the legs, and move on to priority 1, which I would first check a lateral occiput. So you pressure test lateral occiput, check the legs. If it balances, you would adjust the lateral occiput. Then I would move on to a lateral sacrum, also with a lateral occiput. So I would pressure test the laterality of S2, S3, S4 with positive and negative torque and adjust like so. After that, I would move on to a coccyx sphenoid again, swipe the coccyx, check the legs, adjust in this direction, and then again check those 4 directions of the sphenoid and adjust which one balances. Then I would move on to priority 3. So again, clear the system, check the leg length, and then first I would check for an AI sacrum at the ischial tuberosity. So let's just swipe up, that balances the legs, adjust like this. And then I would move on to a AS trochanter. So I would come here, swipe the trochanter, and adjust like so into the same angle as the femoral neck. Then I would move on to a PI ilium at the swipe the PSIS and adjust like so. And then last, I would have the patient place my fist between the patient's knees and have you squeeze. And do you have any pain with that? Yeah. If they did, you'd have them flip over and then adjust for a superior pubic rami. So I'm just going to have you find the bone that right here, okay? And you would just come in and you would use the integrator and click superior to inferior. That's all.